Hello everyone, thanks for pressing play. You're watching a brand new episode of Talking Comics, ExcaliburCCGTV, where every week we come together to get you ready for Wednesday. We are getting you ready for September 23rd, 2015. Tons of great stuff hitting the shelf this week. We are Excalibur Comics, Cards, and Games here in Shreveport, Louisiana, as well as in Texarkana, Texas. You can always find out what's going on with us at our website, ExcaliburCCG.com. Hello and thank you to our new subscribers. We've had a recent uptick in subscribers here on YouTube. Thank you very much. Glad you're enjoying the show. Glad you're enjoying the commentary that we have for you each and every week. And to all of our listeners on iTunes and Stitcher, thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys rock. Guys, no huge announcements to announce this week, but please, if you haven't had a chance, go down to the description below and go watch the Silver Steel story, the Excalibur story, our documentary that was done by Clint Hanna, one of our friends of our stores. He lives up in the Texarkana area and a friend of that store for many years. Check out that short 20-minute documentary and you can find out even more about Excalibur Comics, Cards, and Games as both stores are covered in that documentary. And guys,
it should be mentioned, just for new viewers, he's Chris and I'm Randy.
I missed it, didn't I? I missed that. Yes, I'm Chris. He's Randy. We come together and we talk about comics and we enjoy talking about comics with you guys. So you guys know the drill by now. We're gonna be expecting some interaction from you later on. Let's go ahead and dive into the new number ones that are hitting the shelf for this week. Would you like for me to go ahead and start it off?
Start it.
Guys, we've got a couple of independent ones that are coming out this week. Some stuff that really interests Randy or myself. The big companies, they're gearing up for their stuff later on in the year. But this week we do have Power Cubed from Dark Horse Comics, number one, hitting this week. This is by Aaron Lopresti, who is an artist who's done stuff.
Fantastic artist for like 20 plus years.
Exactly.
Don't know if I've ever seen him write.
I don't think I've ever seen him write anything either. Not to say that he hasn't, but I don't recall it. But this is his own creator-owned series he's doing here through Dark Horse. Takes a look at Kenny Logan, who has a piece of technology that gives him the ability to create anything he could possibly want. All he has to do is imagine it. Now, what do you do with that type of technology? How do you keep it? How do you protect it? And ultimately, what do you do with that kind of power? That's what we're going to be exploring here in Power Cubed, number one from Dark Horse Comics.
We have Wild's End, The Enemy Within, number one, coming out from Boom Studios. This is the second volume of the Wild's End series, just in case you guys aren't familiar with. Hopefully they've already collected the first volume together. With this one, Clive, Susan, Fox, many others, they are all back. They are well, that was one of those things that left off at a very awkward point. So like, really, it just ended this way, and so they're back now. The alien invasion has occurred, and after they've gotten to town, warned everybody, now it seems the military wants to move in and do something about this, or finally caught wind of it. I don't know what it is, but they're detaining everybody within this town, and they're looking to just cover it all up. It's not, and that doesn't seem to sit well for Fox and Clive and all the crew. So now it's going to be one of those things where they have to break out in order to warn the rest of the world, just in case another incursion happens.
Yes.
So an interesting series here. It's been real fun. It's got the whole anthropomorphic. Is that the correct? Correct. Anthropomorphic with that, but. Dan Abnett and INJ Culbard, I guess how we say it. His art's a little different, but it fits this book very well.
Yes, very well. I'm surprised at how much I liked the first series.
Yeah, I've seen his artwork on a few other things, and it's never been my cup of tea, but I loved it on this.
Yes.
It was like, it fit this so perfectly, and so maybe it's one of those things that when he draws actual humans, it's not my favorite style, but when he draws the human human dogs, human animal things, that works better.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah,
check it out, guys. Get the first volume in trade as soon as it's available, and check out the second volume here that's coming out starting this week. Really good stuff.
Yeah.
Not to be undone, Marvel does have a S.H.I.E.L.D. 50th anniversary issue this week with Fury. S.H.I.E.L.D. 50th anniversary number one. This book is taking a look at a meetup between Nick Fury Sr. and Nick Fury Jr.
Okay.
So that's what we get to explore in this comic that's coming out this week of the Shield 50th anniversary. What's going on with that? There we go.
It should be noted, guys, just in case you don't understand or are thinking, oh, I need to go and order these, start putting these on my list here, my pull list at my comic shop. These are just one-shots that they have going on. Yeah. So even though they say, I've always had that it says #1 for a one-shot. Just call it a, Fury Shield 50th anniversary one-shot.
Exactly.
Don't call it #1. Because I've had a couple of people go ahead and add Agent Carter or add Mockingbird to my list. I'm like, there's nothing more.
Yeah, it's just that one issue. So there we go.
Yeah.
There we go, guys. Those are some of the #1s. And, of course, the one-shot, like as we mentioned, that's coming out this week. Your retailer may have more or other things that they're picking up. But that's what we're covering for this week. And now we're diving in to the storylines. No Superman True stuff that I saw for this week, but plenty of Secret War stuff.
I think that was all the culmination with everything the last 2 weeks.
Are we done with Truths?
Possibly. It all said lies, though, on the covers of this last week, so.
Lies. So let's dive into the Secret War storyline stuff that we have coming out this week. I'll go ahead and dive into it first with 1872, #3. We can take a look of this little town here where everything is happening, the town of Timely. This has kind of been a little bit of a brutal story going on here.
And a bit of a shocking story.
Yes. And in this issue, Fisk and his men are triumphant, but will they let their guard down? And we also get to take a look at what the Doctor is cooking. Dr. Banner, that is. So we get to find out, and we may even get to see a hero reborn in this issue as well.
Yeah. Man, that last issue was killer.
Literally.
We've also got Captain Marvel and the Carol Corps #4. This one's interesting because it's Corps versus Corps. Yeah. We had the Carol Corps versus the Thor Corps if they're wanting to escape. And it looks like the only way they can escape is going up towards the stars. And there are no stars. So they'll figure that one out, maybe.
Carol Corps versus Thor Corps.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's what it is.
Inhumans, Adeline Rising, #5 hits this week. Medusa has gotten more than she bargained for with Black Bolt, and that is a new understanding between the two of them. Also, we can take a look at the Resistance now that Medusa is on their side. Will it help? Is it too late? We'll find out with this issue.
We have, with Runaways #4, I believe this is the last issue of that series, we have betrayals. We have reunions, and we have death. Maybe more than one with this, and it's all there for the Runaways. We'll figure that one out.
Have you been reading this one?
I love this one.
Okay, cool.
It's been a fun series. Have you read it?
No, I haven't.
This wasn't on your list.
I never read any of the original Runaway. Not that it matters.
No, it doesn't matter.
I don't know. It just didn't do anything. But
I like the art style on it, and Noelle Stevenson's been real fun with this. She's the writer of, I believe, Lumberjanes. Yeah. I've seen that name before. Yeah, and I've enjoyed this one a lot.
That's cool. Another one we got coming out this week, Weird World #4. The weirdness continues as Archon is trapped in the swamp of man-things. Enough said.
That just sounds awful.
That was them, not me.
Maybe it sounds good to somebody. We shouldn't say it sounds awful. It sounds wrong. Yeah. Extinction Agenda #4. This, I believe, is also the final part with it. And Cameron Hodge is reborn, repowered, and it's up to the X-Men to put aside all their differences, pull together, and possibly make some final sacrifices here in order to try to stop him yet again.
Yes, there we go. And last up, Years of Future Past #5. Judgment Hour has arrived. The traitor is revealed. The last hope of mutant kind must survive against the Sentinels and the rage of the X-Men as well. So there we go, guys.
What if it was Lockheed?
What if, huh? I don't know.
Lockheed and Aunt May. It's your what if team up.
They're right there. That would be an awesome what if team up. So guys, there we go. The storylines this week are the Secret War storylines. Those are the ones that are hitting this week.
Still no main issue.
Exactly, no main issue. And if you've been interested in any of these storylines that we've discussed, they're all completely separate and on their own from the Secret Wars main book.
Yeah.
So if it sounds like if what we said about 1872 intrigues you about it's been kind of dark and kind of brutal, you can read that on its own and enjoy it just on its own.
And that's that's a great thing to say, because I know some people are like, I'm just going to skip all this Secret Wars stuff. I'm not going to get involved with this. There are a lot. There's not just a few. There are a lot of really good books that have come out with these miniseries from Secret Wars, yes. and they're fun and they're standalone, like you said. And so why not go and pick up Old Man Logan, or pick up Planet Hulk, or pick up MODOK Assassin, or something like that. They have just been a lot of creators having fun, and it's shown. Exactly,
and just from a moment ago, what you said with the what if team up of Ant-Man and Lockheed, that's what a lot of these series are. It's like a big what if. It's like a 4-issue series of what if this was this, and it's been several of them have been great. So
about the only way this ties in is that everybody, instead of like they say, oh God, they say, oh Doom.
Yeah.
Because Doom is their god.
Yeah.
And you have these Thors show up to dish out the punishment because they are Doom's core.
Exactly.
There. And so that's really the only way this ties in to the main series there. But you don't have, that's all you need to know to go and pick them up and read these and enjoy them.
Yeah, you don't have to have read 1872 number 3 before you can read Secret Wars number 6.
Yeah.
When it hits the shelf.
And
or
you
anything
you didn't need to read the past 4 or 5 years worth of Marvel comics to be able to enjoy these series.
Exactly. Good point. And they've been enjoyable. So guys, there's our little rant and hoorah there for the storylines of Secret Wars and how that's been done. Moving on to some of our favorites. These are the comics that will be at the top of our stacks, the first things that we read when they come out on the 23rd. Randy, what's up for you?
This is a really small week. And I think one of them that we both share is Invisible Republic starts its the first issue of its second story arc.
Yeah.
This with number 6. So with this, what's it say? The war just got asymmetrical.
Yeah.
So we'll see exactly what that means. There was a big bomb dropped at the end of the first issue, or first story arc there, that may change a whole lot of things.
Yes.
So we'll see exactly where that goes. I'm totally excited to finally have that back out.
Yeah, I'm surprised at how much I've actually liked this. I'm glad I gave it a chance.
Yeah.
So it was, very good. Another one I'm looking forward to is Nameless number 5, because we're supposed to find out the origin of this man known as the Nameless. So we will get to find out with this issue here. So I'm really looking forward to that, as well as some of the other stuff that we've mentioned earlier in the episode as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So there we go, guys. Those are our number ones, our storylines, some of our favorites that are hitting this week. And now you know what time it is. We are moving on to our question of the week. Expect the weekly prize winners to resume with next week's episode. I'm still getting caught up on some stuff. Sorry about the delay, but I will be doing the giveaway again, hopefully starting with next week's episode. But we're moving on to our question of the week, which is a big one.
Yeah.
And it comes from my man, Randy.
Okay, we just talked about Secret Wars and how the main book is not coming out here. You guys might be a little familiar with, if you pick up the previews, seen anything we've talked about, that, or just go onto the different media sites there, comic media sites, that Secret Wars should be ending in like 2 weeks.
Exactly.
It should have its final issue coming out. And it's not. That's when the 6th issue looks to be slated to hit. And so it still has another 2 issues to go after that. So what we're wanting to know is, should the big mini-series that the companies put on, and they seem to put on like 4 a month, or 4 a year now.
Yeah.
Should
quarterly.
Should the big mini-series that they put on, the big crossover events, be standalone, or should they be integrated where they actually affect books that will be coming out prior to or after the miniseries? Now, what I mean by that is there's a lot of things that might be waiting on Secret Wars, and we don't know. Is this? We know it's 8 months later. Is it going to be one of those things where they already thought maybe we were going to be a little late, so we just don't mention that we don't see Doom or Reed or Sue anywhere? Cyclops anywhere.
Right.
We're not seeing these people. So is it just going to be one of those things that they'll tell a story arc or two and then they'll get back and do like, this is what happened 8 months previously? What is, I don't know. Yeah. So my question here is, do you want it to be something that you can just pick up and read and enjoy and not have to have it affect the books later on? Breaking it down here, we're just wanting to know, is this something where you're satisfied with how big events tie into the continuity? Mm-hmm. That's a good way of putting it. Or do you want it to be its own separate thing? Should you have to wait for books to come out because they're going to possibly eliminate mutants in this miniseries and it's now late? Or do you want it to tell its own story and just keep going with the books?
Right. Just
regardless of whatever happens over here. I'll pick this up and when it comes out, I'll get the next issue of it, but it's not affecting my books.
Right.
And I'm kind of two minds there because I do like having a big event. I don't like having it 4 times a year.
No.
I wouldn't mind a big event maybe happening once every couple of years and really meaning something.
Right.
But I definitely don't think you should have tie-ins going into all the other series because that becomes, when you're going into collections and doing collected books and everything of that becomes one of those things like, what is this one random issue kind of thing?
Exactly.
Black Vortex running through books. Why is this going through my book here suddenly when I'm picking up Nova or picking up Captain Marvel? I think that those type of things should be totally autonomous. They, run their course their own way.
Right.
But I kind of like when you do, if it actually stuck with when they always say the universe will never be the same again, or this is going to change everything in the universe. I want to see something that happens that way. But I'm willing to sacrifice having one artist on the book and having it come out on time.
Yes.
That's going to be my main thing. If you think this is a guy that has some issues with time, then 2 different artists on the book. He handles this part of it, this side of the story, he handles this side of the story, kind of thing. I think there are solutions that can rectify problems like this from happening. But it depends on what the type of story arc is or event is with whether or not I want it to affect my book.
I think you made a good point with the
Black Vortex.
Black Vortex, because it's like it's going to be in those tie-in series whether you want it to be or not. So you're going from one story of them drinking, the Guardians drinking at some bar in some faraway galaxy or whatever, getting in a bar fight, and the next issue you're knee deep into Black Vortex all of a sudden. It's just like jarring, kind of,
And I mean those are obvious sales ploys.
Exactly.
They are. Oh, these books are suffering, so we're going to tie them into something that's really raging right now.
Right. And the only, honestly, what you said about like the universe will never be the same again. Well, that is literally what's going to happen with this particular situation with Secret Wars. Yeah. Because of all that, we've been leading up to it now for the past 3 years, and now we are going to have that kind of change. But it's not all, like you said, it's not always the same with all the big events that happen almost on a quarterly basis.
What did Axis end up actually doing for us?
I don't know. I barely even remember.
We did have some good repercussions from Original Sin. We did have that from Infinity. We did have that. But there are a lot of other ones that they don't. And, Civil War, going back, Civil War did. Yeah. World War Hulk was kind of a useless thing. It did not have big repercussions other than bringing in a Red Hulk. Mysteriously whenever they restarted the Hulk book. Right. But, the Secret Invasion was this really good way to tie up some things and go, why did characters act this way? And why were they here and this? Yeah. That was a good thing. And so I think events have their purpose when they're done right. But, you know, if you're going to do the event, I think it has to come out on time if you're going to have serious repercussions from it.
Exactly.
It has to. And I think Marvel at this point in time is going to, in some ways, wipe their, you know, hands of Secret Wars, and they're going to say, well, just let the series issues come out whenever they come out. Because I went through and I Googled and I looked to see if there were stories, if Alonso or somebody had given some explanations as to the tardiness and what their plans are with this. Because I had people asking me,
yeah,
are these books going to, the number one's going to be coming out, or are we going to have to wait? I'm like, no, I think they're going to be coming out.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
but there's been nothing out there to let us know. And that's really kind of a strange thing with how, you know, there are the Cup of Joes and the different things that are out there, that they've been kind of silent on that. And I'd like to know, you know, Rich Johnson hasn't even posted something. He's given us, like, this is going to be late, this is going to be late.
Yeah.
But he hasn't given us anything, giving us a confirmation and saying, look, Marvel's just going to say, let them come out when they come out. And let's just go ahead and start our number ones, and, you know, people will be happy with the number ones. And if they want to pick up Secret Wars, they pick up Secret Wars.
Yeah, so there you go. There you go, guys. So what are your thoughts on this type of dilemma, type of situation that we face? You know, where we got these new number ones that will be coming out before Secret Wars even ends, or other like events in the past where stuff is just the main event that's keeping it all together, supposed to be tying it all together, is running late on its course. Yeah. And other stuff is so much caught up in the swell of the tide of it and stuff, but it can't do anything.
And I know there are some people that are like huge Asad Ribic fans, and I know you're a huge Asad Ribic fan. Yeah. But there are times where you can see his art is being sacrificed to try and rush this and get it out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is the art the issue? Do you want to just have another artist? Do you want to not have this tie into everything? Where do you want your big events to fall?
Right.
That's kind of what we're curious about here, because it's kind of a big thing right now with Secret Wars.
Exactly. So, guys, there you go. Tell us in the comments below what you think of this, because we want to have a discussion with you about it. We could go on for another hour talking about this, because it's just something that we're kind of passionate about in many ways, and in other ways just confused and irritated and annoyed.
We're just like you guys.
Exactly.
I know. I have you come into the comic shop. I know that you feel this way.
Yeah.
But I also wish I had some answers for you, because I don't see answers anywhere.
Yeah.
And they obviously haven't contacted Diamond, and Diamond hasn't sent something out to the local comic shops and said, hey guys, this is kind of what it is.
Yeah.
So we have to assume that number ones will hit, and Secret Wars is a casualty of war. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, they've extended it to a 9th issue.
Exactly. The only thing I can think of at this point is that maybe they built themselves a buffer into the new series, like where we don't get the big stuff until like issue number 3.
Well,
something.
That's why I said maybe they'll have a story arc, and then they'll go back and start to respond to things.
That's a possibility. So we can speculate even more, guys. But guys, that's it. Tell us your thoughts in the comments below, because we want to know. We do want to have a conversation about that with you in the comments below, because we don't have 3 hours right now to spare talking to you about it on video. But thanks for watching, guys. We really, really appreciate it. You got your new number ones, you got storylines, our favorites, and the question of the week. Tell us what you think about these big main event tie-ins, how they should affect other issues that are caught up in the swell of it, what you think of it all. We want to know below.
Yeah, and I just want to tell you guys real quickly.
Yeah.
I have to say this because last night I've been moving, so I've been behind on reading my comics here.
Okay.
And I just read Starved number 4, and oh my gosh, guys, this is possibly one of the strongest series I have read Invisible Republic and Starve are probably those two from 2015 that have just hit and blown me away.
Good.
Read Starve if you haven't read it yet.
I'm glad you did that, because I almost forgot. Check out the Paybacks number 1 from Dark Horse Comics.
Did you like that one?
First issue was a ton of fun. So check that out as well. Starve and Payback. That 4th issue was. I was like, what?
How people don't want to keep reading it, I don't know, because that is.
It's great.
Phenomenal.
Yes, guys. There we go. So there we go. Check out Starve and the Paybacks. Leave a comment below about our question of the week. And that's it for this week. That's a wrap. So thanks for watching. We are Excalibur Comics, Cards, and Games here in Shreveport, Louisiana, and Texarkana, Texas. Check out our website, ExcaliburCCG.com, to find out what's going on with us. Anything else to add, sir?
I think that's it.
Cool. So, guys, that's it. Until next time, read great comics. Leave us a fantastic comment down below, and we will see you in our next video. Adios.